Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is March 23rd, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament, and we're in the book of Exodus. We are going to read chapter 27, verse 1 through 19. All right, so at this section of the story, Moses is getting instructions from God in how to build the tabernacle, which is where the ark is going to be kept. Tabernacle, fancy word for tent. So this is God's dwelling place, quote unquote. God doesn't actually need a dwelling place, but this is going to be the focus for the Israelites. That when they think about God, they want to think about Him. That He's right in that tent, in the holiest holies. Even though we got smoke and lightning and flashing, that's where He is. When I'm thinking about God, that's where I'm focused. Now, we as Christians don't need a tabernacle. We don't need a temple. Because when we want to think about God and we want to focus, Jesus has placed Him in our hearts. So we have become the temple. We see all this meticulous detail on how they want this tent of the tabernacle constructed. This is a holy place. I mean, everything is pure. Everything is worked to perfection in the tabernacle. Then when we get to the temple that Solomon builds, infinitely much more perfection than what we have in this little tent. And that's a reflection of heaven, which is infinitely more holy than even the temple of Solomon. So that's the progression here that we're going to see. And again, as God's temples, that Jesus has made us God's temples, that's what we're striving for in ourselves, is perfection and holiness. Now, we're lowly sinners, so we're not going to actually make it all the way there, but that's what we're striving for. And that's what we're trying to get here is hey, you know what? God is holier than anything we can think of. God is perfect than anything we can think of. I mean, this is the most beautiful, wonderful, amazing tent that's ever been constructed to a God, and it's nothing compared to what God is. That's what we want to get out of here. So let's go ahead and we're going to read from Exodus chapter 27, verse 1 through 19. You shall make an altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns and its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. Also you shall make its pans to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall make a grate for it, a network of bronze, and on the network you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. You shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, that the network may be midway up the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain, so they shall make it. You shall also make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side there shall be hangings for the court made of the woven linen, 100 cubits long for one side. And its 20 pillars and their 20 sockets shall be bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be silver. Likewise, along the length of the north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, with its 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. And along the width of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, with their 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The width of the court on the east side shall be 50 cubits. The hangings on one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets, and on the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long, woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen made by a weaver. It shall have 4 pillars and 4 sockets. All the pillars around the court shall have bands of silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, made of fine woven linen, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for all its service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be of bronze. May God bless the reading of His word. May God bless you. Bye.